So a lot of people have been saying, Andrew, that maybe the show's too funny, maybe the banter's too flying around the room, that chairs have been breaking, people are missing lectures. It's just, maybe, I just don't know what we can say to these people, because I think it is just too funny sometimes.
We just can't stop.
The spirits when they need you. This life is more than just a read-through.
The Red Hot Chili Peppers with Can't Stop. Well, here it is on our 4th show now.
Yep, 4th.
Very excited because we have the infamous Michael Mark with us today.
He does exist.
It's true, we can confirm it.
How do we introduce Michael? He's a 4th year, so our relationship's pretty weird, seeing as we're freshers. He lives in my accommodation. He's one of those abroad students who came back. And he spends most of his time with freshers. Actually, it's a little bit odd.
There's an air of desperateness.
Definitely, it's definitely not a cool kind of down with the kids. It's more tragic. Got no friends in his year kind of thing.
Fun dad kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely fun dad. Definitely barbecues with shirts and jumper combo kind of thing. No. How do I... Well, when I first met Michael, we were at this leftist meeting thing, and I was just telling him I was a film student, and straight up he says, "Do you want to see the greatest film ever made?" So I was like, yeah, and he just showed me this 20-minute student film, which is one of the most terrible things ever, and from then it just it bloomed from there. We've always had trouble with our names. He called me Henry for about the first 2 months of our relationship. Yeah, Henry, which the funny thing about that is... Mine and Andrew's film production company is called King Henry Productions. And that's why he thought I was called Henry. But it's the fact that he thought my name was Henry and I'd call the production company King Henry. It's like me calling it King Horatio Productions. And I share it with Andrew over here, so it'd just be such a narcissistic, egotistic thing to do. If you see him on Facebook, he's a bit of a meme god, hugely left-wing, like super communist, like double blacklist. Me and Andrew rarely talk about politics on here because it's it would be very biased because we both have this kind of the same view, quite left wing, but we're pretty much fascist compared to this guy over here.
It's true.
You got anything to say, Michael?
Hey.
That was Grinds with Flesh Without Blood.
How about Michael, you tell your side of the story about how we first met and your unbelievable relationship with the fantastic short film Checkmate.
Okay, well, I just want to preface this entire conversation by saying that I'm a massive lad who went to Smack last night. I've had like 1 hour of sleep, so...
Other clubs are available.
Of course, including Switch. But if you need tickets, hit me up.
Get the plugs out early.
Yeah, so I had about an hour of sleep, and so if I like sort of dip from the show, that's just because I'm just throwing up in the toilet, so just... I'll be all right. But
Ladness noted, thank you.
Yeah.
I met Horatio at a NALF meeting, Non-Aligned Leftist Forum.
Other societies are available.
And Horatio was sort of like a bit bug-eyed and staring at me quite intensely.
That's just
in his sort of nervous manner that he usually does it. And yeah, he introduced himself as a film student. So straight off the bat, I was like, okay, I have a proposal. I'm a connoisseur of bad student films.
He really is.
But this,
I had no idea.
This is the the holy grail of bad student films.
Beautiful.
It's called Checkmate. So before we went and watched it, I said to friend Katie, I said to like a couple of the other ones you were out with, "You want to come back?" I only expected like 2 or 3 to
we
come
had
back.
2 people coming back, but by
At the start,
but by the time we reached your room on campus, there must have been about 20 of us.
I think
they'd all just joined us on the radio. People we didn't even know. They knew where the party was headed.
There was 25 in my room, and I was really worried because like our like resident tutor had come in and said like no parties after 10. This was like 11 o'clock. 25 people in my room screaming with laughter of this like hilarious film.
It wasn't a party. It was an academic screening.
But yeah, so Checkmate is made by the University of York. From what I understand, it was the final year piece for a film dissertation, I think, and it's a love story
with a twist.
Yeah, it's told. Yeah, there are many twists and turns. It's told through the metaphor of chess. Now,
how many times have you seen it?
Okay. I've seen this movie 71 times. I've counted, because I started watching it and I thought it was amazing. I watched it 10 times in the first sitting. It's incredible. It's only 20 minutes long, so it doesn't take that
That's
long.
mental.
It's only 4 hours.
That's 200 minutes worth of the first sitting.
Yeah. And then I started showing people, and it became sort of my icebreaker when I met a new crowd. So like,
He doesn't have any other friends who haven't been introduced through Checkmate.
yeah, it's like sort of like a rite of passage in getting to know me. I actually have like quite a strict and rigid commentary that goes along with it.
Oh my god, it's so great because he has each little bit. Because I've watched it with him now about 4 times, showing different new people. He has his little jokes, his little anecdotes. He pauses it, says one line. You know, he knows exactly where the laugh's going to come.
You can see the excitement in his eyes when he knows he's about to pause it and make his little comments.
And what's really annoying is when people like are talking over a piece, and I just pause it, and I like get quite angry and like rewind it back.
Yeah, don't ruin Michael's bit. You know.
Yeah, I've seen it 72 times. I honestly don't know what it's about. I don't know the plot. I haven't a clue. None of it makes sense, but at the same time, it makes perfect sense. Yeah, it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
Yeah, because aren't you thinking about doing a Marxist reading of the film?
Yes, that is in the works at the moment. I've been approached because of my. This is quite embarrassing. My meme talent to do something. With
really
now.
Embarrassing, mate.
Yeah, but I've decided my time will be better spent doing a Marxist reading of this film because there is a lot of, you know, capitalist undertones. This idea of like this
America
is a very strong, you know, figure within this thing. But
you're also thinking about turning it into a play, aren't you? Potentially,
yeah. Well, less so a play. I just take the exact script and just perform it. Like I don't want to alter it in any way.
So like a live read through maybe.
Potentially, yeah, but just like acting it out. Yeah, so like that's pretty much how I got introduced to Horatio, and we were like, I'd say like pretty friendly at the start.
Friendly.
We
Nice
had a few digs in here and there, but like, you know,
a tiny bit
nothing
of
more than
banter.
usual. And then, you know, Horatio was telling me about his like best friend Andrew, the fella he's come to university for. Like he came to university because Andrew chose this university, and Horatio was like, you know, I want to follow him.
Nonsense.
But yeah, so like that sort of relationship that I had with Horatio was significantly altered the first time I met Andrew, because we went to the tea bar, the terrace bar,
Got a couple of bevs down us.
and yeah, it became like a dual roasting session.
Oh god, we were going to town. It was like a Comedy Central roast there.
We were
but
on top form.
absolutely destroying it.
And the thing is, like, that day was, I don't know, it was quite a personal day.
Oh,
I had at the time just broken up with my girlfriend, and I sort of divulged that information, and you know, there was about,
Big mistake.
I think maybe 15 seconds of sympathy.
Yeah.
Like,
Andrew didn't know this.
I understood Horatio making fun of me. Andrew didn't know me and just launched into insulting me, which I rated quite highly, but
Yeah, we just kind of wanted to kind of like a weird, fun dad, a bit tragic to come on the show. And as soon as we saw you at the terrace bar, we were like, maybe we should try and get this guy on the show. Yeah, he's here.
But we do apologise for those jokes. Not really.
Not really.
That was some of our best material,
Yeah, what else? Yeah.
to be honest.
if we had recorded that,
Yeah,
that would have been nice.
Yeah, we don't have to do
We
radio.
wouldn't even need to bother.
Yeah.
Just put this straight on the show. Right, I think that's a good time to go into a bit of the Last Shadow Puppets.
So me and Andrew and his flat went out on Friday. We had a normal standard night. We came back to his flat. I left back home, went to bed. Thought nothing of it, just a normal night. Then I found out what happened after I left. It was a pretty magical story. Take it away, Andy.
Right,
Anecdote time.
here we go. So, Friday night, we go out, hit the clubs, as usual. Bad boys on the town. All of our flat. Come back, there's about 15 of us. Horatio then duly departs us, goes back off to Toss Hill. We then go back into the flat, you know, chill out, lounging in the kind of corridor area where we tend to congregate. And one of my friends, called Jenna, if you're out there, hi, thanks for listening. She then goes into a room at one point. She then comes out of a room and says, "There is a naked man in my room." Naturally, none of us believe her, so for about 2 minutes she was pleading with us to come over. Look, shut up, Jenna, shut up. Just stop it.
How drunk are you at this point?
About 7
Okay, pretty wave.
out of 8.
What was her manner like when she came?
Frantic. There was an air of just sheer. She was almost intimidated by this guy. Because the first thing she saw
Well,
when
you
she
would be.
Yeah, you would be.
Yeah, exactly. The first thing she saw when she went in was his testicles, which was something you don't expect to see as you go in your room. So eventually, after pleading, we go into her room, and I can verify there was a naked man sitting there. But that wasn't the whole story. As I walked in, I just saw his testicles and him thrown out on this bed. And next to him was what I can only describe as some sort of liquid between poo and sick. We weren't 100% sure. We can now verify it was sick.
Okay, it's verified, guys.
Because it was going around, there were some rumours, I had to put them down a bit. But right, so then my friend Taha, shout out if you're listening, comes in and sees this. He then goes and tells pretty much everyone, anywhere, in any vicinity, what has happened. So before we know it, there's about, I'd say 20 people, similar to the Checkmate film screening, in this room. Instead of looking at Checkmate, they're looking at a naked man surrounded by vomit.
Yeah, still, the naked man's still there.
He's still naked.
There, still chilling.
He's still naked.
Not his room.
He's dazed. He's confused. He's a bit scared, but he's not scared enough.
Yeah, I would be so scared.
I would have been straight out of there with immediate fear, regret,
to be fair,
panic.
if you got the confidence to be naked in someone's room, I'm not sure how scared I would be. It says a lot about the kind of guy.
Right, so that happened. There's about 20 of us in there, cameras out. We thought this would be a sensation. This is the biggest thing ever. So we then decided, come on, let's go now. Let's get you back. It turns out that he thought he was in G block, whereas we're actually in F block. So he was technically in the right room, just in the wrong block. But
he just didn't notice it's a girl's room.
I mean, and it's not like a moderate room. There's like a big elephant poster by the bed. There's pictures of all her family.
I bet he thought my family looks strange.
Just see him go to bed, just like, Bill and Dave. And he's just like, no, that's Jenna's dad and his brother. But so we eventually managed to usher him out, but he maintains the duvet of her room to cover his modesty.
Yeah, right.
And we're like, no, come on, this has gone too far. We're gonna have to keep that. So he goes, fine. Can you just get my clothes? So I trifle around, have a little look under some of Jenna's clothes, and I find his jeans. I pick them up. They're soaking wet. He's pissed himself. So he's gone into the room and wet himself.
So 2 liquids at this stage.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Far too many, some might say.
On the liquid counter, we're on 2 now.
Exactly. At the same time, this is a weird side note. A girl comes in, bursts in, starts shouting at all of us to get out of this room right now, get out. And she even says it to Jenna. She's like, Jenna, get out. She doesn't know her name. She's like, get out of this room right now, get out. And we're like, this is her room. What are you doing? She was under the same impression as Naked Guy that this was G Block. And then once we told her it wasn't, she just started crying. Just burst into tears on the spot.
Tears, piss, vomit, it's the whole shebang.
The liquids are there.
The full Monty.
Right, so that's just the start of this. So he manages we get him out, he's in his block, it's all fine. This is then a weird period of the night started that people who aren't in our block, aren't in the naked guys block, just start doing chores around Jenna's room.
People you recognise are
No,
more mysterious figures.
Mysterious figures. I had no idea where they're from. So we're sitting in another person's room, and Jenna just comes in and goes, "Guys, there's loads of people in my room just doing chores and stuff."
It's like they've called the Wolf from Pulp Fiction
Exactly.
just to sort out the messy situation.
So we understand it was very nice for people to come in and clean her sheets. So we took them to the washing room and everything. But then they started there was a Hoover at one point. They were washing her underwear, and she was like, I'm not sure I'm comfortable with this. So anyway, we then took it upon ourselves to do some of her laundry later on in the night. So me, my friend Taha, my friend Adam, and Jenna all go out to go and finish off.
A lot of friends you got there.
Yeah, loads. That's not even all of them. Go off to go and do some laundry. And this is about 6 o'clock in the morning, right? So we're outside of the laundry room while we wait for it to go off, and Taha's having a cigarette, and a guy comes over. And he asks him, do you have a lighter, mate? And he says, yeah. So he comes over and he starts having a chat with all of us. Now, unbeknownst to everyone, other than me, the guy who had just approached us was Naked Guy.
Fully dressed.
Fully dressed, out at 6 o'clock in the morning. Don't know why.
Just looking a lighter.
Yeah.
He
Why?
just that was a little period that happened. He just passed that by. I like how he just took it in his stride.
Exactly.
Just took it in his stride. As soon as his clothes back on, it's back to normal.
It was incredible. I was shocked. I was dismayed. I didn't know what to do. I was sure everyone else would recognise him, but they were just talking to him. Probably the best thing was when Taha said the words, "Oh, you're a really cool guy, mate. You should come to our block more often."
Taha doesn't know that this is Naked Guy.
I was just at that point I was losing it, and I was trying to secretly text everyone in there to say this is the guy, but it never came off because Adam was far too drunk and just not having any of it. Just be like, what on text. And eventually it came out because Taha started talking about the story of the Naked Guy to the Naked Guy who we didn't know was the Naked Guy.
How was he reacting to this? Because
is he just no way, that's so weird?
Taha was relaying the story, saying, yeah, we've had a mad night. explain the story, and he goes, "Oh, that's rough, man. That's rough."
No way. You mean he
yeah.
acted like
He acted like
shocked?
he had. It was So it was the first time he heard it apparently, and how bad it was, etc. But the main
Thinking
issue
two
was,
naked guys. Maybe I'm not that weird.
exactly. And the main issue was though is where Taha went, "Oh, and this," pointed to Jenna, "is the girls' room that it happened in." And this is like, at this point, I was dying inside. I was nearly in tears because what is happening in my life? And it was kind of the thing where you thought, right, this is his chance to apologise, come clean. Yeah, it was me and all that. He just looks at it and goes, "Unlucky, mate. It's got to happen to someone."
Oh my god.
And it doesn't have to happen to someone. That's not like it's not like one of those things. It's not like jury service. It's not something that's
It's not a
given.
common
It's
thing
not.
either. No, that's the first time I've heard anything remotely like that at our uni.
And then, so we had a little chat, and then at that point, I had to say it. I was like, "It's him. It's the naked guy." Everyone just falls on the floor and starts laughing at him, and he stays there for about 3 more minutes as we are just in hysterics laughing, and then he just leaves and tells us to F off.
Oh,
Shocking.
not huge fan of this guy. I haven't met him. but-
Is it a possibility that was the naked guy's twin?
Oh.
That could have been a twist now.
No,
That
because
could
he
have been-
didn't
You've been watching too much
he didn't
Checkmate.
immediately deny it when I said it's him. He didn't go, "No, it wasn't."
Maybe he's just
stood there.
looking out for his bro.
He stood there, to be fair, like a trooper, and just took the laughs with
Okay.
a wry smile on his face,
and then left.
and then left.
Because he's like, you know what? I threw up in her bed. I'm the one who's winning.
If that happens in your final year, you're sort of okay because you're leaving. But like, this is like
That's
the
his life.
second term of first
Yeah,
year.
But that's what confuses me, because if I woke up like that, I would be straight back into my room and not come
Yeah.
out for several hours, maybe even days.
Days.
He's out within 2. How is he still functioning?
I did that. That's one part that I did kind of respect him for.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I think it's nearly time for the news, so we'll go into one more song before that. Which, hold on, we haven't actually got a song ready.
What have I got in the
Here it is.
in the mixer?
Sorry, it's here now. Let's have some block party. It's time for the news.
Bring the pain, Fiona.
Warwick, and you can follow us on Twitter at Raw News Warwick. Your next update is at 4:30.
Thank you very much, Fiona. That was the news.
So my friend Alex has sent in a request to tell about getting your eyebrows and head shaved. This is my old school friend.
Right.
So I'm going to talk about Alex instead.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Alex, in school, had a bit of a wild imagination. In second year, I believe, before I knew him, he told a story that his dad got kicked over a house by a cow. That was one of his claims to fame.
Are we talking bungalow here, or are we second story?
Unclear.
Oh, I didn't
Just,
specify.
these rumors never really had firm,
Substance.
specificities. Yeah.
It's not his first language.
Then he told us that he fell off a cliff, and that the worst part about it was that he had to walk home because he got a limp. And my personal favorite is when he told us in about fourth year, he was walking. So if you imagine like an airport toilet,
Yeah.
you're walking in, it splits off down 2 corridors. One's male, one's female.
Yeah.
He's walking in, a girl's walking out. He looks at her, she looks at him, and then they kiss. Without exchanging a word before or after, they engage in this kiss and then separate without saying anything more.
Wow.
This Christmas,
I was not ready for that.
this Christmas, my friend Ryan goes to Alex, it's okay now. Was that story true? Alex holds to this day
Nonsense.
that story was true.
If you're listening, Alex, you're a liar and a fiend.
One of the sort of funniest memories as well is we used to do this thing called Aw Alex, which meant that when anyone ever did anything, we would blame Alex for it. Alex has very thick skin and he doesn't care about all this.
Irish.
But so imagine if someone dropped their food in the canteen, everyone goes,
Yeah.
we would go oh, Ryan dropped his food. Oh, Alex eats food off the floor. Oh, Alex.
Nice.
So we were doing it one day at lunchtime, and my friend Cormac was there, and Cormac's very quiet, at the time, but insulting each other at lunchtime, I would always bring it up to the line, but never pass it.
Classic Michael.
Whereas Cormac would never speak, and then when he did, he would just obliterate the line. We were going oh, Alex is this, oh, Alex is that, and then Cormac goes, oh, Alex was the reason for the breakdown of his parents' marriage. And there's about 4 or 5 seconds of total silence, and then I just can't hold it anymore. I just burst out laughing, but so does Alex at the same time, to be fair to him.
Okay.
But, that was one of my favorites.
That's nice. One of the funniest stories you've told me is about the two of you described as some of the most successful people at your school.
Well, okay, one of these was at my school, one of these was at the other boys' school. I was very close to him. These are two very successful people now. My friend Declan, up until the age of, I think, 17, thought that all of the planets were inside the Earth.
I cannot get my head around it. It plagues me at night. I don't know what to think. How can you live your life up to that point?
I can understand, like, you know, thinking that the galaxy is the, you know, that's all there is in the universe, and, you know, there's only, like, you know, the planets and stuff, and there's no, like, that there's, you know, because we learn about that there in school when you're quite young.
Yeah.
What possible model of the Earth has it that all the other planets are inside it?
What does he think a planet is?
I don't know. I don't know. There was never any...
He must have been taught in, like, physics, just seen a map of the universe. Did he think that's just one reading of it? My personal interpretation is that they're inside the Earth.
Can we get him on the phone or something?
Yeah, I need to hear this guy.
Potentially next time.
Yeah.
We've sort of like grown apart since then.
We could have an on-air repatching.
Through taking the piss out of it.
Tying down his number, and I haven't talked to him in like 6 years. It's like,
can you talk me through your planets?
Can you tell the story?
Yeah, all right.
Right, I think that's a good time to go into Fossils by Circa Waves. Right, it's about the time of the show where we're going to play a game. Now, we have blatantly ripped this off from Pitchfork.
No, it's not good.
But we're going to play Overrated or Underrated with Gould and Kirwan. Can I have a jingle, please?
Don't have...
Make one up.
Overrated and underrated with Gould and Kirwan.
That was horrible.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, we're working on it. It's in the works.
Right, so... Michael will be going under the spotlight today with Overrated or Underrated.
Do you want to take this first one, Andrew?
I'll take it. So, Michael, The Dark Knight, Christopher Nolan film, overrated or underrated?
As a series, it's horrendously overrated.
Jeez.
It's like, it's
disgusting.
As a movie, it's horrendously overrated. As a meme, it's underrated because the entire movie is simply a meme.
Nonsense.
If you look at the third one, The Dark Knight Rises,
so wrong.
The opening scene, none of it makes sense.
This is so not true.
Out of like the 5 lines that you can understand Tom Hardy say in that film,
please
one of them is, as they hijack the plane, he turns to one of his henchmen and says, "They expect one of us in the wreckage, brother." Why?
Right.
Why do they expect one of them in the wreckage?
You take this one, Andrew.
That doesn't make any sense.
They have just miraculously got out of this plane, taken all their people. Bane's free now. He's out. They expect one of them in a wreckage because there's been a plane crash. And if they don't find any bodies, that's a bit weird. If they find the plane with no bodies, that's suspicious.
It makes perfect sense.
Why do they need
And the
need
whole
the
trilogy
bodies of
doesn't
his
collapse
men,
on
though?
that.
Because of his men, because the CIA got that guy as like a
horrible. It
informant.
makes no sense.
They want it to seem like one person took the plane, did it, hijacked it, died in the wreckage. They're like,
But, like,
these guys died.
But 3 were taken in at the start.
The one body.
When the guy goes, "I'm CIA."
Yeah, but the one body is
Again,
suggesting
hilarious.
is suggesting that there has been a crash and they haven't just miraculously been taken alive somewhere. So they'll presume that they're dead.
You're clutching at such straws.
No,
This
you
is
are.
nonsense.
And your next one is even worse.
No, okay, so a bit of the dialogue goes, "If I took the mask off, would you die?" Bane says, "It would be extremely painful." CIA man says, "You're a big guy." And Bane says, "For you."
Makes
What does that
Complete
mean?
sense.
What does that mean?
Complete sense.
I am a big guy for you.
Right, you're missing the point. 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 You're missing the point.
You're the worst. You're the worst guy ever.
Look,
horrendously written dialogue.
Do that dialogue without the words "you're a big guy." Again, do it.
If I took the mask off, would you die? It would be extremely painful for you.
There we go.
There it is. So he is.
So take out a line of the movie.
No.
Okay,
Andrew's
okay,
working.
fine.
Andrew's thinking it through. Come
Well,
on.
if we just jumble up all the languages,
No,
that's what it
then we
is.
can make
It
into
is.
a
That's
Shakespeare.
the point.
That's nonsense.
Because the point of the
literally
dialogue,
nonsense.
the point of the dialogue after it will be extremely painful is to reinforce the idea that that the audience will think it will be extremely painful for Bane. You think, oh, that's a different side of Bane. Oh, that's weird. But then they take it right back and say, "For you," because he hasn't finished his sentence. The CIA guy is interrupting him.
All right, guys.
Calling him a
I
big guy.
think
Yeah,
we've forgotten
'cause
that we're on the radio for a second. This has turned very personal. Let's move on to the next one, please.
Right. All right, Michael. Jennifer Lawrence.
Horrendously overrated.
Oh, God. We're back here
Okay,
again.
so
We're back here
American
again.
Hustle is a fine movie, and it's one of the most forgettable movies you'll ever see in your life.
Such nonsense.
Hunger Games,
Such nonsense.
trash. Like
They're not like.
Silver
I'm
Linings
not saying they're
Playbook is
great
all
films,
right.
but Jennifer Lawrence.
No,
come on.
Jennifer Lawrence as an actress is like all right, but she's got this cult around her in which like
It's
everyone's
not
like,
her fault. How can
oh,
you
she
judge
tripped on the stairs. She's so relatable. You know, she's
No,
like,
that's
you know,
true. No, I'll
oh,
give
hey,
you that.
oh,
But that's
great.
not her. That's not her fault. How can you blame her for her fans? I'm a massive Arsenal fan, but I hate all Arsenal
Am
fans.
I blaming her? I'm saying she's overrated. Surely that entails the rating that she's being given.
I don't know. I think Jennifer Lawrence is great. She's getting a lot of.
Again, clutching at straws.
No,
here.
because the thing is about Jennifer Lawrence is everyone loved her, and literally you can see it through the passage of time. If people love her too long, then people like you who cannot stand anything that anybody else likes are going to just find ways to hate her.
like she's also spawned the male equivalent of herself in Chris Pratt. Okay,
Yeah, no, I'm
And
not
he
a
was
huge
in-
fan of Chris
yeah,
Pratt.
and he was in Guardians of the Galaxy, which is again is a horrible movie.
We're not horrible.
No,
not horrible
movie. These
Not
movies are
horrible.
terrible. Marvel movies are awful. Okay, to all my friends listening back home who all they want to talk about is Marvel, it is horrendously bad.
All right, we're moving on now.
Well,
I don't think we're meant to interject. I think with Pitchfork, you just hear what their opinion is. You don't just ask their opinion and then just get really angry. What? All right.
last one. Cloth.
Cloth.
Yeah.
Cloth.
Do that what you will.
Cloth is. I'm sure it's perfectly. It's a nice word. Fabric.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
fabric. I was supposed to go to Fabric this Friday, but I'm not going anymore. I'm going to Switch. It's on in the Leamington Assembly. You can get tickets off me for £8. So just hit me up on Facebook or yeah.
I got
There we
made to
go.
do it for 5, so don't worry.
But yeah, cloth's just is rated. Yeah, it's a nice. I said underrated because it's a nice word and we don't say it enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
we don't say cloth to
No.
each other enough, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go home and tell your family cloth. Jungle with time.
Okay. I've got another funny story.
Here we go.
Um,
Strap in, guys.
So when I was 16, I think it was 16, me and my friend Neil and Alex it was supposed to be a larger group, but it ended up just being us three. We're going to this house party
Okay.
with the ex-girlfriend of one of my close friends, Ryan, and her other friend.
Is this back in the old?
This is back in Ireland. This is in rural Ireland as well,
Okay,
because like I live in like a city. Well, it's not really a city, but this is like it's,
because you're on the border between Northern and Southern Ireland.
yeah. So this is just into the south now.
Yeah.
This is in a place called Meath. So we arrive at this house. We start drinking, lads again, getting a bit leery, and the girl's dad rings at about 10. Now
Wait, how do you know this girl? Is she just a friend?
the girlfriend at the time she was the girlfriend of a friend who wasn't there.
Okay, all right.
So the dad calls. He's down 3 hours away at a wedding with the parents are down at a wedding.
Yeah.
And so he calls up and we have to be deathly silent because if he hears anyone's in the house,
Oh, you're not meant to be doing this.
no.
Okay,
And like supposedly the parent, I didn't know the parents at this stage. They were supposedly incredibly strict.
Okay, all right.
So we the other girl like bursts out laughing when the girl who owns the house is on the phone.
Yeah.
And the dad's like, is anyone else there? And Maeve's like, no. She has to wake up her little brother and like make him lie and say there's no one else in the house.
All right.
So anyway, we're like
How old was this brother?
about 10 at the
About 10,
time.
all right.
So we instantly panic. We hide all like the booze. We go into the forest for a while because we're like,
Wait, is the dad coming back at one point?
we don't know. He I think he alluded to it at the time, but we just go into we're drunk at this stage. We
Alright,
stand in the rain in the forest for like about half an hour freezing for no reason. We're like, why are we doing this? And we go back in. So we're like it's about 3 in the morning now. We're sort of just chilling out, lying down. All the worries are gone. I'm lying on the floor and they're all on the couch. And then the door just bursts open. The dad walks in. I'm lying on the floor. Kicks me in the chest.
Whoa, assault!
And then I pick. No, it wasn't that bad, but like I get up, he kicks me in the ankles. And
What do you mean it's not that bad? If these people live in England, they're not used to this kind of stuff.
But so we Neil had the perfect tactic. He went, he got his bag, he got his shoes on. None of us have shoes on at this stage.
How are you guys getting back?
We don't know. We were going to get the bus in the morning. So we're like an hour and a half walk from the bus.
Oh, Jesus.
We
Was the plan before the night to stay over?
Yeah, just to stay over, just chill out, like.
And so your friend has invited you here against the dad's will and knows the dad's coming back. And
No. That was at a wedding. He wasn't supposed to come back. He just off hearing a voice on the phone.
He really is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Alex nearly tries to sort of fight with the dad. I'm pleading and saying I'm really, really sorry. And Neil's going and getting his
Classic
stuff.
Michael.
Yeah. So we end up going outside. He opens the front door of the house with such like ferocity that it shatters this sort of like antique telescope. And he tells me that he's going to like eat my testicles and rip them off. So I'm like terrified. So we're outside. We're like, okay, because I had lied to my parents that I'm not going out. You know, I was like, okay, we're going to get caught. This is it. We're done. The other girl comes out and was like, we're all really still drunk at this stage. And she's like, no, he's actually going to kill us. You know,
Wait, is
drunk
the girl,
and stupid.
is the girl, is this
Not
the daughter? Oh,
no.
not the daughter.
So we just run down. Only one of us has shoes. We run down, and then the lights come on in the car. He had parked down the avenue. So we sort of like try to jump into this ditch to avoid him. But it's not a ditch, it's a river. And Alex had barrel rolled in, so he's completely soaked in the middle of rural Ireland, about an hour and a half from anything. We run down the road and we go into a barn. We break it open and sleep in that barn all night, telling jokes about how we're going to send him to Strasbourg for like, you know, like we don't know.
To the Hague War Tribunal.
Yeah. We creep back at like 6 a.m.
To get your stuff.
Well, yeah, but the girl has told us like.
Or do you want round 2 with old daddy?
They've been driving up and down all night looking for us. They actually came to the barn and said, "Is anyone there?" And like the first
anyone
time,
there? Yeah, we're here.
The first time we said no. The second time I croaked.
You didn't say no, did you?
No, as in, like, we didn't say anything. Yeah. But the second
is anyone
time,
here? No. All right, it's clear.
The second time, and I'm nearly in hypothermia at this stage. I'm going blue, and I've got like an awful mustache on me as well. The photos of me that night are horrendous.
Yeah.
I look like I'm on
6-year-old
death's
Michael
bed.
is disgusting.
But so yeah, I croak. Yes, we're here, but it's so weak that like nobody hears.
Why were you saying it? Why?
Because we were just like, we have to go in. I have to just, face the music, sort of thing.
Wait, what time is this?
This is 6 a.m.
Okay.
We creak back to the house. The dad's in bed. The auntie has come up and is like giving us cups of tea now, and like feels bad for us being out all night in the rain. And the dad just gets up, walks past us, gets in the car, and drives back to the wedding. And we're just sort of in the house, like in a sense of just completely dazed.
Oh my goodness! Was he super drunk?
No, we drove back.
Okay, that is a strange one.
Well, with that, we've come to the end of our show.
Oh God! Well, it's been great. We've had Michael here for the first time. Please message in to see if you like it, because our fans are pretty tough.
They are, and they're very loyal to us.
Yeah, they're very loyal.
Not sure if we want another guy in here, but let us know. So we will see you again
next
same time,
week.
Next week.
Time. Oh yeah. So please message in what you thought of the show. It'll be up on YouTube, Gould Kirwan Radio. And yeah, see you guys later.
Bye.